If a good idea or side hustle ever hit a wall because of technical issues and just understanding tech, that is not a you problem. That's a everybody's problem before AI, myself included. Tech has always been my biggest challenge. If you've ever asked yourself, can I have a small email list that can still make money? That is a great question, and it's one that I ask myself in different niches as well. So we're going to go over to ChatGPT. We're going to ask that exact question. And we're going to start to get the answers that then will give us not only can it be done, but also maybe some suggestions on where we might start. So here we are on ChatGPT. I'm going to copy and paste this prompt. It says, can an email list under 1,000 people really make money? And just so you know, this prompt and all the results are going to be in a link in the description that'll take you to the Finance Friendly blog page with all of that and more. So let's hit that button over there and see what it has to say. And it's starting to think, I'm going to separate what is genuinely possible from what tends to be exaggerated. Thank you. That is so good. And then it disappeared. So we got to think a little or see what it's thinking behind the scenes. We want this to be realistic. Definitely. It says, yes, an email list under 1,000 people can make money. Now, we're not giving any earnings claims here, clearly, but generally speaking, it's saying that that's something that can possibly, potentially happen. So let's dig down deeper. But list size alone does not determine revenue. So true. A small list of the right people can outperform a much larger list of people who are only mildly interested. The better question is, does your list contain people with a specific problem, and do your emails consistently connect them with helpful solutions? And if you watched any of my other videos, or if you've seen my free 3-day email income challenge, it's all about reverse engineering who is out there looking for solutions to problems and who are people spending money on those solutions for those problems so that we have the chance to get in front of buyer demand with solutions of a particular problem or set of problems. So let's read this again with that in mind. Does your list contain people with a specific problem, and do your emails consistently connect them with helpful solutions? It's all about who we're trying to serve and attract onto our list. And when we can do that well, and I've got another video that talks about how to create a lead magnet and how to have then the nurture emails that go out so they feel that connection. When we have that relationship that we have earned, because we're trying to earn a relationship, earn the opportunity to let them know, I understand your pain. I understand the first step that can get you towards the outcome that you want. I'm going to give that to you in the form of a lead magnet. I'm going to follow up with you in the form of nurture/welcome emails so you feel a connection even more. I'm just talking about them. It's all about them in those follow-up nurture sequence emails, and then links to solutions as well. But I've earned that opportunity because they feel like, hey, this person gets me. So again, does your list contain people with a specific problem? And do your emails consistently connect them with helpful solutions? That is what it's all about. That's why I said it 3 times instead of 1, because if you get that right, you're on the right path. If you don't, and it's all about, hey, I just want to make money off of a list, that's where a large list doesn't perform as well as a small list, okay? I've had lists since 1985, before the internet, and then in 1999 on the internet. And that is a biggie. It's always about who is on my list. I consider them my friends. I just want to help my friends always in life in general, and I want to give them solutions that are going to help them. And of course, we can do that in a monetizable way with email that's automated, which is wonderful as well. So let's keep cruising here. A realistic example. Imagine you have 500 subscribers. You recommend a well-matched $47 product. 200 people meaningfully engage with the email. 20 visit the offer, 2 purchase, the revenue is $94. That is not a promise or a benchmark. It's simply an illustration of how a small list can produce revenue without needing thousands of subscribers. Now you might be thinking, Mark, I've got 500 people and I sold 2 things. Can I sell more? Can I sell things for more money as well? You can do a lot of different things as long as you're serving them on a regular basis. As you continue to get people on your email list and you've got automated emails going out, let's just say twice a week, Over time, maybe you've got them set up for months and you've got different offers going in different places, and these people are going through the emails that your automation is sending out to them that's merely about them, solution and outcome based, that they then can go and take a look at different things and potentially purchase. All that can add up. So that's another way of looking at it. As we serve a niche that's got a particular challenge, that we're focusing in on everything that's about them and helping them get there. All right, let's cruise down and see what this says. Now imagine you occasionally recommend a carefully vetted service. Let me cruise this down a little bit. That pays a $200 commission. One person purchases, the revenue's $200. Or you offer your own $197 program. Let's take a pause here for a sec. If you're thinking, I don't know what I'd promote, I don't even know what to create, I don't know any of that. AI is a thinking partner. It's helped me with tech be able to shorten the gap, because tech's always been my downfall, but it also helps us greatly with marketing, product creation, with all kinds of things. Promotion of that product. So if we start to think, hey, what could I create for $197 in the niche that I'm in? You could just go to AI and say, look, I'm interested in putting together a product that I'm ultimately going to offer for $197 in this niche that addresses the need for this solution that then provides this outcome. What can I offer? Give me 10 suggestions that have real buyer demand right now. And then once you figure out what that is, then you can say, great, please start building out the framework of what that could be, and you're off to the races. So AI is a wonderful thinking partner when it comes to that, especially when we don't know, how to do something. We're thinking, I don't know how to do it. Well, then ask AI, and quickly it's going to teach you as then you start to teach others as well. So I hope that gives you a lot of confidence there. It certainly has for me, because not being a techie, it's helped me a lot with tech, but it's also helped me a lot with the marketing side too. So in this case, it said you offer your own $197 program. 2 people enroll, there's $394. Okay, it doesn't pay the mortgage, but it starts to move the needle in a direction of, if I were to able to set this up, if I had any little bit of consistency, would that make a difference? Maybe. It's just one thing. Let's see what it has to say. The economics depend heavily on the relevance, the price, commission, trust level, and strength of the offer, not merely the number of subscribers. So let's zero in here on the trust level, and then we'll come back here to the 5 things that matter more than reaching 1,000. Trust level is so big. So one of the things that I've always tried to do is add some personal component to the things that I do, so people get to know who I am, so they realize who's behind all of this support, all of this outcome related choices that they can have that are ultimately going to help them, and who's behind this. So it can be a picture in an email, it can be video, it can be story, how I my real story. I'm a 3rd generation real estate investor. My dad wrote, I think, the first book in the country on marketing for discounted mortgages in 1985 that we then sold through the mail. That got us in the info business. We weren't looking to do that. And there's backstory to all these kinds of things. And then people liked it. Hey, what else do you have? Then we had this catalog of books. That's before the internet. It was relationship marketing. It's all about them, all about what can help them. That's what builds trust. If somebody's good to us, we begin to trust them. We earn the opportunity to share more things that will help them. It's just that simple. Then once the internet came in 1999, started my email list. Again, same philosophy, just giving things that will help people in the real estate space as a real estate investor. Because again, I'm a 3rd generation real estate investor. I'd been an agent and a broker in the 80s and 90s, moved to Phoenix, started buying houses, sharing all kinds of things. I've got all kinds of products in that space. 1999 is when that started. In 2024, the simple software that I use, not being a techie, that whole time, about 25 years, they stopped. They stopped providing that service. That whole time, tech had been my downfall, my Achilles tendon. And I knew it, and I admitted it. Hey, I don't get the tech. It's hard. I'm using this software that's simple. And then it became a bit outdated. And then then they stopped. It's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Thankfully, AI came along not too long after that, and I started to become proficient with having it be a thinking partner so that I could tap into my lack of tech skills, confidence, and everything else along that, and start to pull from AI how to do a lot of different things. And that's why I'm here now. I want to share with you the things that I've learned because now I consult companies all over the world. I've consulted hundreds of them on things exactly like this. And AI helps us close that gap. So if you've ever tried a side hustle and tech has been the thing that made you stop, wasn't you, wasn't your ability of, or desirability, it was just we didn't get the tech. Now we can close that gap with AI. So we can share that vulnerability that you might have in certain areas so people realize, wow, this person really gets me. I don't I don't get tech. I play guitar. I love animals. I love that, but tech has never been something that just came naturally. Thankfully, though, understanding AI as a tool, if we can get decent at just communicating with AI, it can help close that gap, thankfully. So that's, of course, what I share on this channel. But back to the whole email premise, if we share with people our vulnerabilities, the things that we had to go through in a hero's journey kind of a way, where it's like, hey, you know what? I can relate, and here's why. I felt the same way that you may be feeling right now. And I felt hopeless and helpless and, discouraged and frustrated. I just wanted the outcome too. And then I started to do this thing and I realized I was starting to make some progress. So then I learned more about this and it got me here. And then I got the outcome that I'm now sharing with you. So that's inside of your email. So they realize, wow, this person really does get me. They've been through what I'm trying to get through. That's known as a hero's journey. It's got to be true. But if we are willing to open up the curtain a little bit and share our vulnerability, we're able for people to connect. Have you ever heard somebody be vulnerable, honest, share something that was challenging and they got through it? How did you feel about them? We root for the underdog, right? And in a story, it's like, wow, I can relate. We start to see ourselves in that person's story. Wow, you were at a place where I am right now. I want to get through and get to the outcome that you ultimately did. You obviously get me. That builds trust, that builds connection, and that then gives us the opportunity to earn their attention when we are sharing other things that could help them with the outcome. So I wanted to let you know that trust is earned. One way that it can be done is just saying, I've been where you are. Here's my story. Mine's tech. 2024 came, my business stopped in a sense because the software stopped. It's like, I've got to figure this out. And then AI helped me do that. So in your case, whatever the niche is, you could be leaning in on that story as well. And we just connect with that. It's wonderful. So again, we were talking trust level and the strength of the offer, not merely the number of subscribers. So here it says the 5 things that matter more than reaching 1,000 people. We want individual relationships. How specific the audience is. People interested in making money is broad. That would be an example it's giving us. Small business owners who want to follow up with leads automatically is more commercially useful. So that's just an example of niche from a broad standpoint and more niche down. But you can pick any niche and then just niche it down. So specific audiences have clearer problems, clearer solutions that they're desiring, and clearer reasons to take action. And we can then be tapping into that in the communication that we've got with them through email. Why did they join in the first place? Why did they get our free thingy in the first place? A list built around a random giveaway may be large, but poorly aligned. Hey, I want the free thing. I don't care about anything. Just give me the free thing. Have you ever felt that way? Me too, you bet. A list built around a lead magnet that solves the first part of a valuable problem, the outcome that they really want, can be smaller and much more responsive. Okay? A hungry audience versus an audience that doesn't care. Completely different. You don't need a ton of them in order to have them respond to things that are going to really help them. And they have basically let you know by getting that thing that you're offering, they really want help. How much they trust you. Again, we talked about that a moment ago. And let's cruise down a little bit. How consistently you communicate. I'll tell you, I hear some people and they'll say, yeah, I haven't emailed my list in a month or two. It's like, that's not how it works. we've got to be consistent. And in the old days before AI, we'd have to create the emails and all that sort of stuff. And it became this mental thing of, oh, I've got to create the emails and all this kind of stuff. Now AI can do it just like that. And if it doesn't do it how we want it, we can say, hey, have it, be positioned more like this or like that. And then, of course, we go in and we put our own words in there and, however we want to do it. But the point is, AI helps us with all of that, make a really good impact that ultimately helps these people in a way that they really want. So, you can be doing it a couple of times a week if you want, in some cases daily, every once in a while. It just depends. It could be weekly. It can be whatever your gut check is. If you're thinking, I don't want to send it too much, okay, fine. But we have to be present. We have to let them know for credibility's sake that we're still here, that we're still giving, we're still helping them. And that is what consistency is all about. So here it's saying what current email data tells us. Industry-wide click rates are often around 2%, although results vary significantly by audience, industry, message, measurement, all sorts of things. It varies. It varies on how well we are cultivating the relationship, bottom line. But it also means you do not need hundreds of people clicking every email. You need a smaller number of well-matched people taking the appropriate next step. And we always want to give them an opportunity to get on our list. So we've always got new people starting that journey. And then we can be adding emails down the road. I've had some people on my list as many as 20 years. So the responsibility comes with what more can I be sharing with them that's going to help them? That's a wonderful position to be in, because if we look back after actually doing those things, like, gosh, I've left a good footprint in the world, and we can all feel good about that. Purpose, helping people in a niche that, needs help, that you're passionate about. Things like that can be absolutely wonderful. So as it's saying here, the honest conclusion, an email list under 1,000 people can absolutely produce revenue, and it doesn't even have to be that high. It probably will not create substantial predictable income merely because the list exists and no particular subscriber count guarantees that. But here's the big takeaway. The right people plus a valuable problem, one that they've got that we can then evaluate and understand and then provide them with outcome solution with, plus helpful emails, plus relevant offers that are monetizable that will really help them, and then consistent follow-up, that is a wonderful formula. And why is that? Well, it's always nice to hear from those that have our best interest in mind, that are just giving, proving that we can help them over and over and again by helping them first and ongoing. That's how we cultivate a long-term relationship, and we can put some fun in there too. I oftentimes will put my animals in my emails. They get to know who they are. Every once in a while, I will see a subscriber out there and they'll say, hey, how's Ginger? Potbelly pig. Things like that are wonderful. It's a blessing in life to be able to connect with people like that, much like being able to share here with you. And you know what my challenge is. My challenge is tech, but AI has helped it so much. So today we tapped into AI when it comes to the reality of, do I need a big list? Hey, if you had 1 million people that weren't connected with your message, that really didn't know who you were, and then you promoted something, how many of those people are going to feel like, yeah, I'm interested in what this person has to say? Not as many as 100 people who you've done a good job understanding what their challenge is, providing them with the first step of a solution / outcome with the thing you're giving away, the lead magnet, and then creating the nurture follow-up welcome emails, and then the follow-up emails after that with little cliffhangers at the end to let them know what more valuable stuff is coming in the next email. Those people, they feel like there is a relationship there. And that's how I feel with my subscribers, because I just want to be good to them because I care. So if that resonates with you, please click the like button so more people find this video with the algorithms. And just know that this channel is here so I can share more things with you that AI can help with, so that we can shorten the gap. We can take away that ceiling, that tech, challenge, frustration ceiling, knowing, hey, I don't know the tech, but AI does. I'm going to ask the right questions. I'm going to show you a lot of that in these videos that I have on this channel, and of course in my free 3-day email income challenge. So I've got a link to all of this in the description, including the prompt that we used today and the results. That'll go to a blog page on Finance Friendly with all of that and more. And each video here in this channel is meant to stack. So you're going to get different pieces that you can put together, and you can start to put together an email income business potentially that you can be proud of, that serves, that checks the boxes of, hey, I want to have more purpose in my life. I want to help people more, and we can automate it, check those boxes as well, so that we're just trying to get more people into the front of our email automation by giving something away, by proving we can help them, by actually helping them first, so that emails that are automatically going out in certain days and weeks over time, you can set it up to go for months, a year, 18 months, 24 months, whatever. Then we're just trying to get people in. And then as they see different offers throughout the time that they're on our list that's just here to serve them, we go back to some of what was covered today, and you never know what that can mean. But it's all started with just understanding who we're serving, what their challenge is, and how we can start to use AI to start to put all this together if we don't know where to start, especially the tech. So if that sounds good to you, I will talk to you in the next video.